Screen Producers Australia has been very active over the last 6 months, engaging with our members and the broader industry to talk about the things that are important to you and the ways in which we can improve our sector. As you know, we've been surveying the industry and we have been asking you guys to give us a lot of day-to-day stories and conversations and focus group information, which we have turned into 5 strategic priorities for the sector. And the first of these is to make sure that we have market-driven incentives that continue to drive and encourage our support structures for Australian content. This is a conversation about the offsets and the degree to which we ensure that they are strong and robust and contributing to our content industry. The second area we've been talking about with you guys has been about how we modernise our commercial foundations for our sector. That's about whether or not the component parts of the sector need to be looked at, and we've been talking at length with the guilds about efficiencies and about the various constructions of the arrangements that exist industrially for us. We've also been talking about the way in which our content is being priced and the degree to which people are paying for the licensing or investments in it. And that's an important ongoing discussion with a number of our content partners. The third area is making sure that we have a mature and innovative distribution system by which we are nurturing ways in which Australian audiences are able to access and get hold of and resource and support Australian content on emerging platforms. That's important in terms of the way in which we look at the construction of the offsets currently, and it's also important in terms of dealing with issues such as piracy and access to content by people that want to receive our content. So that's an ongoing challenge, but an important one that the whole of the industry thinks about. The fourth is to make sure that there's an ongoing support for the public broadcasting system in Australia. As you know, we've been very active in talking about the ABC needing to support drama and kids content or children's content now and into the future, given that that was part of the funding support that they've received from government. And we're keen for them to ensure that they continue to drive a lot of the development of the industry through their content investments. That's true also for SBS, which, as you know, does a lot of interesting and dynamic work across every genre. The fifth and final area is dealing with the need for us to have an ongoing and important international engagement for our industry. We know that our growth as a sector is going to come from international investment in our production businesses, and it's going to come from international investment in our individual projects. So having a dialogue internationally and making sure we're competitive as a sector in producing content and being great partners around the world is going to ensure our stability in terms of resourcing our industry to make great stuff, and it's going to ensure our growth as a sector. We need to make sure we speak to our Australian audiences always, and the local support that we have to trigger finance for our industry is crucial. We know that's important. We've just had the budget discussion, and we know that ongoing it's going to be a crucial exercise for us to ensure that we have local support. But that local support is going to allow us to have international investment. And what that means is we can, as we've discussed, trigger a lot of international finance for our sector and make sure that we have broader audiences and profitability for our content, but more importantly, take what we do to the world.